What's up, guys? So depending on who you ask about sliding scales, you'll hear strong opinions at both extremes regarding what's ethical. Some people say it's our ethical duty to offer a sliding scale, whereas others say it's unethical in all circumstances to offer a sliding scale. And while I'm no legal authority when it comes to offering a reduced rate, I do think there's some items to consider before you offer a sliding scale. So in this video, I go over all the questions I think you need to ask before you consider offering a sliding scale. Offering the sliding scale. Yeah, 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 yeah. Welcome to Private Practice Skills. I'm Dr. Marie Fang, psychologist in private practice. I post videos offering tools I learned the hard way about starting and growing private practice so that you don't have to. So guess what? For the 7 years that I've been in private practice, I have always offered a sliding scale. Some people are pretty surprised to hear that, and I will admit my process with sliding scales has shifted over time and my lowest fee has gone up quite a bit over time as well, but I do have a bit of information that I can share from what I've learned over the years. So first, let's make sure we clarify what a sliding scale is. A sliding scale is a reduced rate offered to those with fewer resources. So a sliding scale is not asking the client to name how much they're able to pay for counseling, and it's not giving clients a discount based on how you feel. In order to qualify as a sliding scale, it has to be based on that client's income. Now, I know many therapists who say that they offer a sliding scale, but in reality what they do is they allow the client to name the rate that they're able to pay. This is actually a huge no-no in our field. So this is not what I'm talking about in today's video. Let's also make sure we learn a little bit about the ethical considerations we need to factor in when considering offering a sliding scale. Though not all of the governing codes of ethics speak to offering a reduced rate, a couple of them do, and here's a couple of examples. The American Counseling Association Code of Ethics and Standards of Practice, Section A10C says, quote, "In establishing fees for professional counseling services, counselors consider the financial status of clients and locality. If a counselor's usual fees create undue hardship for the client, the counselor may adjust fees when legally permissible or assist the client in locating comparable, affordable services." The American Mental Health Counselors Association Code of Ethics, Section E2A says, quote, "In establishing professional counseling fees, mental health counselors take into consideration the financial situation of clients and locality. If the usual fees create undue hardship for the client, the counselor may adjust fees or assist the client to locate comparable, affordable services." Okay, so what we can glean from these is that there is some ethical precedent when it comes to offering reduced rates. Now, even though after hearing those quotes, it may sound like there is a firm stamp of approval when it comes to offering a sliding scale, there are some exceptions to who's even allowed to offer a sliding scale. So first, if you're on insurance panels, there's a good chance that you're not allowed to offer a sliding scale as far as your private pay clients. The reason for this is because it starts to look like insurance fraud. Insurance assumes that you're billing them at one higher rate, but if a client is paying out of pocket, even if they're rather low income and you charge them less based on their lower income, insurance is going to say, well, look, you're billing us a higher amount than what you actually charge your clients when they pay out of pocket. And that's a huge no-no. So if you're on insurance panels, make sure you check with them directly to see what their specific rules are about offering a sliding scale to your clients that aren't on insurance panels. Now, if you do offer an exclusively cash-based practice like I do, then it might be possible that you're allowed to offer a sliding scale, but make sure you check with your individual state laws before diving into it because each state has its own laws governing that jurisdiction. Now, if you're in the clear as far as insurance panels and state laws when it comes to offering a sliding scale and you're considering offering one to your clients, here are some additional items to think through before doing so. First, what is your reason for wanting to offer a lower rate? So is there a particular client need that might qualify having a sliding scale? As an example, I like to work with a lot of college students, psychology graduate students, and psychology interns, and if you remember what those days are like, unless you were very fortunate, you probably didn't have money coming out of your ears, and if anything, you were accruing more debt. So I like to offer my sliding scale based on income, which helps meet the needs of this client population I work with who otherwise would have no way of affording my full fee. If your reason for wanting to offer a lower rate is because you simply feel bad, that's probably not a good reason to go about it. Next, it's important to ask how many clients you're willing to see at a reduced rate. We wouldn't want a situation where all of your clients qualify for your lowest fee and now you're just not earning the income you were after. Unless your lowest fee is one where if everyone did pay your lowest fee, you're still earning the income you'd be happy with and it just goes up from there. Everyone has different ways of going about this. For me personally, the majority of my clients are high income earners and it's a small percentage of my practice that kind of lives in that low income or college phase of life. So I don't really need to put a cap on this, but if it ever started to get a higher number of individuals qualifying for that lower rate, then I might put a policy in place where there's a cap. Next, consider how low of a rate you're willing to offer. It is time to do a little bit of math here because I wouldn't want you to set a rate that sort of feels right without doing the math in advance to realize how much you're going to earn if you do end up capping out on all of your reduced rate slots. Assuming you end up capping out on your reduced rate slots, it's important to work backwards from your desired income to figure out how much to charge in order to still make the income you're after. If you're not sure how to do that, I have a video all about doing those calculations in my video talking about setting your rate in private practice. Those same calculations apply here when you're offering a sliding scale. You can check out that video linked up here and in the description box. Next, you need to consider how you'll assess your potential client's resources when offering a reduced rate. So as we mentioned before, a sliding scale must be based on resources, which is translated as income. Maybe you might take debt into consideration as well. But how are you going to assess for that? Are you going to use an honor system where you ask them to share their gross income? Are you going to ask for proof of income? Make sure that's all clear up front. And once you have that set up, you need to make sure your sliding scale actually reflects that difference in income. So as an example, I've set up my sliding scale so that assuming a client did choose to come in on a weekly basis for counseling, then they would be spending 10% of their gross income on counseling. That might not sound like much, but when you do the math with taxes, it's actually a pretty chunk of change. And that way it feels like there's something balanced and systematic and saying, well, even if you're paying my lowest fee, you're still paying the same percentage of your income into therapy as a client of mine who's paying my highest fee and everything in between. Now, of course, I have a lower and upper cap to the sliding scale, so if you're making $0, it doesn't mean you're spending $0 on therapy, but if you're within that range, it's gonna be 10% of your gross income that you're spending on therapy. Now, there's a situation that I'm sure has come up for many of you because it comes up for me not infrequently, and that's when a client earns too much income to qualify for a lower rate, but they tell me they're not able to afford my fee. And I know so many therapists who cave in this situation and charge less because the client says they can't afford it. And to me, I perceive that as a reflection of how bought into the therapeutic process this potential client is. Because if they are earning that amount of income and your sliding scale is reasonable based on their income, they should be able to budget in order to pay the rate that they fall within. I really discourage you from choosing to allow clients to twist your arm into charging a lower rate than what they qualify for. Not only is this unethical based on how we're meant to structure the sliding scale, but also it starts off your therapeutic relationship on a really imbalanced dynamic where the client has learned that if they push your boundaries, they're able to get away with it. So this isn't helpful to you or the client in the end. So if you do choose to offer a sliding scale, be sure to have a system in place that follows these guidelines. Keep in mind that not everyone is allowed to offer a sliding scale and not everyone's required to offer a sliding scale. So make the decision that fits best for you and your practice. I'm curious, do you offer a sliding scale in your private practice? Leave a comment and let me know how that's been working for you and if you have any tips for how to make that work better for others. And until next time, from one therapist to another, I wish you well. Today's video is brought to you by TherapyNotes.com. TherapyNotes helps with scheduling, notes, and billing so that you can spend more time with your clients and less time on back office paperwork. Click the link in the description of this video to get 2 months to try it for free with no commitment. Offering the sliding scale. Do, 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 do.